From 4th of January, PlayStation Plus subscribers can play Persona 5 Strikers, Dirt 5 and Deep Rock Galactic, all for free. But are they any good? Hello, I'm Phil, you're watching UnCapt Gaming, and this is On the Plus Side, where we give our take on the free games available to PlayStation Plus subscribers. PS Plus is the subscription service for online multiplayer gameplay for PlayStation owners. Each month, as an added bonus, members get access to free games. If claimed during the month, the games remain available for as long as you remain a member of PS Plus. Subscribe now to stay up to date with the new releases each month and what we think of them. Before we get into the games, it's worth noting that the usual format for PS Plus releases is that PS4 owners get 2 free games, whilst PS5 owners get access to these through backwards compatibility, as well as an extra game for the PS5. This month, however, both PS4 and PS5 owners can get access to all 3 games, as both the PS4 and PS5 versions Dirt 5 and Deep Rock Galactic are included in the offer. Persona 5 Strikers doesn't have a native PS5 version, but of course backwards compatibility takes care of that. Starting with that game, Strikers is an action RPG that came out in February last year to generally favourable reviews. It both serves as a sequel to Persona 5 and a crossover between that game and the Dynasty Warriors franchise. Having never played either, I went into the game expecting to be utterly confused. And at least after the first hour of gameplay, that is the case. However, I'm still not sure how much of that is the fact that I haven't played Persona 5 beforehand, and how much of it is the fact that it's just utterly bonkers. It's worth noting here that PS5 owners can also get the original Persona 5 as part of the PS Plus collection, meaning that you can catch up before sitting down with Strikers. The game's cold open drops us into some very fluid and fancy looking acrobatic combat with a whole bunch of shadows, showing us the ropes of the fighting styles that we'll rely on further along in the game. After the title sequence, we go to a police briefing room to learn that people are acting weird, and it's likely all to do with the Phantom Thieves, the leader of whom is targeted for investigation. That leader, Joker, is our character, and currently reuniting with his friends for a summer vacation. There's also a talking cat, because of course. It's after deciding to go out camping that we find ourselves in hijinks. Heading out with Ryuji, who I want to describe as a himbo, to buy camping gear, we're derailed by the appearance of an influencer called Alice Hiragi, who invites us to a special event. It turns out that Alice is a bit on the evil side. Her invitation drags Joker, Ryuji and Morgana the cat into the metaverse. No, not that one. Here, she tries to steal their desires, but is unable to, so asks her minions to dispose of them. This drops us into the garbage dump, where we meet Sophia, an AI whose adorable facade masks the ability to kick ass as well as any other character. Fortunately, she also serves as an audience surrogate, the reason for other characters to explain what's going on, at least to some degree. The game's story is told through a mix of traditional cutscenes and the visual novel style with character avatars and speech bubbles. The artwork is stylish and striking, while the music brings a level of high energy even when the characters are just deciding whether or not to go camping. The combat mechanics are fairly straightforward but flashy and work really well. If you're wanting to dive straight into the action, there's an awful lot of story to wade through first, much of it doing very little to advance the actual plot. However, this appears to be in fitting both with the genre and the series, so if you've played these games before, it may be entirely in fitting with your expectations. Even if you haven't, it isn't necessarily a bad thing, it'll just depend on what kind of experience you're after. Overall, as someone not traditionally into this kind of game, it entertained me and intrigued me in equal measure, which is saying a lot. Based on the first hour of gameplay, I'd say add it to your backlog.
Talk about a way to kick off your summer vacation.
Dirt 5 came out in November 2020 and was a nominee for the best sports or racing game at that year's Game Awards. It's an off-road racer with a narrative career mode, an online multiplayer mode, an arcade mode, and a playground mode. There's nothing in the career mode that would take you too much by surprise, as you move through a series of races and learn the ropes while earning XP and money in order to purchase new cars and other goodies. However, this isn't a bad thing, and if you're a fan of the career mode in races, then there's plenty to keep you occupied. Likewise the multiplayer, with matchmaking being straightforward and the races being as you might expect. Whichever mode you play on, it has to be said that the game looks and sounds gorgeous. If you're playing PS5, the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers only enhance the graphical and audio experience to make you feel as though you really are churning up dust in the dry desert courses or splashing through mud. It feels immediately and immensely satisfying to play, even if like me you're a bit crap at races and are vying fiercely for 7th rather than 1st place. It was a barrel of fun to soar across jumps, collide with other cars and careen through mud, even if in the end it left my car as little more than an empty skeleton. An added gem in this game is the playground mode. This allows you to build your own race courses and to play on courses created by others, some of which are truly insane. The hard ones are fun. The impossible ones will test your resolve in the best way and keep you pushing on, even when you see that the times people have achieved are in the range of 40 to 50 minutes. It's like Mario Maker for racing, which in turn makes me really want a Mario Kart Maker based off this mode. Make it happen, Nintendo. Based on the first hour of gameplay, I'd say download and play immediately.
Oh, cars. I should have known.
That's what this whole series is about, dude. It's all we talk about.
Deep Rock Galactic makes its debut on PlayStation with the PS Plus release, having been exclusive to Xbox and PC from May 2020 and been highly praised by critics. It's a co-op first-person shooter for 1 to 4 players. The premise is simple and delightful. You're a space dwarf, mining on various rocks across the galaxy and dealing with all manner of invasive bugs as you do so. The first thing to say, based on my time in the tutorial, is that the prospect of playing it single player doesn't appeal at all. That tutorial sees you wandering about on your own in a cavern, as your character makes lots of repetitive quips in an Australo-Cockney accent, and not much at all really happens. In the multiplayer, the number of quips escalates from an irritation to an annoyance with the increase in characters, but at least stuff's happening now. This game was clearly built to be played in teams, and it's here that it shines. Even the act of mining, hardly the most thrilling despite being the game's core premise, feels less like a chore when doing it in a team. Not to mention that splitting the mechanics required to move through rock, climb higher, light up the caverns and build defensive positions between players makes for a far more interesting dynamic. The encounters felt fun and left me wanting more, which is really saying something as a player who doesn't go in for multiplayers. Based on the first hour of gameplay, I'd say download and play immediately.
If we survive, next round is on me.
This month's PS Plus lineup is a strong one, especially given that none of the games are in styles or genres that I typically play regularly or happen to be any good at. If you're a fan of exactly this sort of game, then you'll certainly get your money's worth. Let us know if you've played any of this month's PS Plus games and what you thought of them. Did you have as much fun as I did in Dirt 5's Playground mode? Did you make more sense of Persona 5's story than me? Are you ready to sign up with the Space Dwarves of Deep Rock Galactic? Tell us in the comments. Cheers for watching, and see you next time.